This is a film inspired by Nikolai from Intuitive Tennis. He did a YouTube video entitled Testing 5 Weird Rackets, and we want to thank you because we actually sold a racket due to your video and your 70,000, I think you're almost at 70,000 subscribers, and we just wanted to help people. We do have content online. Our website's been around since 2007, so I get a lot of people emailing me that our website's old and stuff like that. And basically all the owners, the Battistones and myself, we got busy with life and I think Dan has 7 kids. And so this video is the way you were testing it, just to clarify a few things. You did give us a positive review and said this is a great racket for somebody ambidextrous looking to hit 2 forehands and get a full brain, full body workout. We often say that you wouldn't go to the gym and just do curls with your right arm, but that's what most tennis players are doing. I also wanted to address, when you were hitting forehands, you were saying that you had so much muscle memory that you could never use this racket or get used to it. And I often get that from people, and so there's a debate about how much time it takes to actually develop that new muscle memory. And the best example I can give you is the president of our company, Dan Battistone, who had never touched a 2-handle racket until 2007 when we created the company. And within 2 months, at the age of 30, after being a very good player and being world ranked and playing Division I college tennis for BYU, had won maybe one double or made a semifinals or something like that. And within 2 months of ever touching a 2-handle racket, he won his first ATP tournament, or ITF tournament, Future at the time, in doubles. So it was a 60-day curve for him. I often tell people that on the 14th day, you're just getting, we don't change your grips at all. If you're used to hitting a semi-western, it's a semi-western with this on your forehand, and it's just a little later contact because now the racket is in front of your hands. So you did mention that there are some ATP players that hit 2 forehands, and this racket is actually true freestyle. Means that you're totally free. You can hit 2 hands, you can hit 1 hand, you can hit ambidextrously, you can just play your normal tennis game. That was kind of what sold me on the racket. So there's a huge history of ATP players with 2 backhands, 2 hands, on both sides. Bartoli, I think, won Wimbledon. There's the Shea from China. I know she's been in the top 20, and I think she won Wimbledon too in doubles one year. Both players had 2 hands on both sides. Martina, not Hingis, but the name's on the tip of my tongue. Monica Seles, 2 hands both sides, won a lot of Grand Slams. Had that tragedy. Probably may have gone down as is probably one of the best female players of all times, but at one point there were 4 people in the top 100 men players: Byron Black, Jan Michael Gamble, Fabrice Santoro, and the guy from the Netherlands, Ramon Sluiter. So 4 out of 100 is a pretty high percentage and I think the basic advantage of that having 2 backhands or 2-handed both sides is the disguise. Is literally when you're playing those guys, you don't know where the ball's coming because they're so turned, and at the last second they can go down the line, cross court. Whereas just a typical, you start to be able to read, where the ball's going and anticipate when you're playing a normal one-handed player. So I often tell people, take our 10-day challenge. Go out, use the racket for 10 days or 14 hours straight, play your best practice partner, and after using the racket, play that same practice partner and see if your scores improve. Myself, my own personal story is I did improve within 6 days. I actually lost a doubles partner, and his name is Christoph Palmenschalfer, and we had gotten some ATP points in Thailand, and we came back, and the Battastones were on their meteor. They were moving up the ranks quickly, and I think they actually beat Christoph 4 times that year. So I was telling him, how could you not? You know, we had the same coach, and we were sort of volleyers. So that's another the reason is we feel like we get more reach. And currently there's not a lot of people serving and volleying with a lot of success on the ATP Tour. People say Roger Federer is extremely good, you know, serving and volleying, but if you really watch him, he doesn't do it that often. But I believe that's because of the Luxilon string that kind of came around in the sort of mid to late 90s is the first time I saw it, maybe 97 I want to say, but the passing shots got extremely good whenever you have the polyester, the Luxilon. So that's why the volley sort of tended to drop off. But things do come in cycles, like disco, you know, was in and then now it's out, or, you know, Grateful Dead music was super in when they were around, and then it goes out and it comes back around. So we're still waiting for that volley to come around. And if you talk to Brian Battistone, maybe our most accomplished two-handle player, ATP in the world, and or 88 in the world in doubles he achieved, he'll tell you that the reason he's doing it is because it gives him more reach on the passing shots, and he likes to serve with that jump serve, come in and hit the volleys. I've got a couple of different rackets. You can see that mine's a head with a conversion. That's kind of what I do for the company. One of my things is I take your racket, because there's tremendous technology out there with the Babolat, whether it be the Wilfer system, the head with their racket head speeds, or the Wilson, and so I take a two-handle racket and I put it. And so that back to the freestyle. So if the ball is close to your body, we like to hit two-handle shots. If the ball is slow and a little bit away from you, and you need to generate your speed, your own racket head speed or your own power, that's when we take a hand off a slow ball and hit it a little bit harder and faster. I liked how you did the serve. It's too bad that no one was there to do it with you. For people that are transitioning, it can be a really tough thing to start serving with this racket when you've never done it before. And in fact, I saw Harold Levy from Israel, who I think won a Super 9 or one of the just under the Grand Slams. I think he beat Quertin one year. But anyway, when the Battastones were playing, he was playing, and he came, and a lot of the other pros would come and they would want to try the racket, and so he would pick it up, and I watched him go out one time and miss 30 serves into the net. So here's my solution for doing that. Come with me over here. Whenever you're starting with this racket, we tend to serve like this, and I do have another version of our racket that I want to show you. So it is a front handle, just like your normal serve, continental grip, and we like to serve. So if you've never used it, we start off very simply, and you just come out and you make one serve into the box, right? So it's once you achieve that, because most people, if you go back and you try to serve from there, as Nikolai did in his video, you'll hit them into the net. So once you make one over, you take a step back. See, now your hand is in front of the racket, so I also tell people be a little bit late. And boom, you make another one. And then you take a step back. And you make another one. And you get the idea. So that's how we serve with the racket. I want to walk over here and just talk to you a little bit about some of the other designs of two-handle rackets that we've had. Brian Battistone, when he was 88 in the world, actually had this idea, and another guy, Jim Martineau, created it. He was a guy that came out and won the National 45s hard courts with our racket, and so he had a one-handed backhand. And so this racket is called the Diamond. You can see it's connected down here, and he would hit a forehand like this, and see how he keeps the racket still in front of his hand. You can actually do it with our other racket too. You hit a backhand like this, top spin. So you get the top spin here, and you get the top spin there. But then it also gives you the option of playing two hands both sides. Now, back to a little bit about my story and why I switched to the racket. I was a guy who, and this is in a lot of my other videos too, but because of that serving motion, how we get that counterbalance, this snaps your wrist right at the time that it should be snapping. Whereas I felt like with a one-handle racket, you kind of have to time your wrist. There's nothing to kind of centripetally snap it at the right time. So when I was practicing with the Battistones, their overheads were amazing. Dan Battistone, you know, anything up high, you could just smack it down into this court and over. So it was one of the ways that freestyle improved my game was my overhead, which was, I can equate it to basketball shooting. There were certain days with a one handle where my smash was really good and my timing was well and I would win, but it was always day to day. Whereas with this racket, once I got it, I would wake up and I just had a good overhead. And I guess the best testimonial I have is beating maybe Radu Albert in doubles, even though he's not a big doubles player, but it was at the age of 40 with the two-handle racket. It was ahead at the time, and that was in an ITF tournament. So I think Radu Albert may have taken a set off Federer and had some, I think most recently he beat that Sharapova. But anyway, that's an indirect win. I'm here to give you the information. Nikolai, I appreciate you inspiring me to write this video and putting our content out. We had a guy, I think, named Kevin Donovan, one of your subscribers, wanted to get some junior rackets. We have junior rackets that I tend to take them and do some 3D printing and add a freestyle handle. You can hit 2 forehands, you can hit 2 backhands. We like to say more fun, twice the grips. Thank you. Just smash that subscribe button down there if you'd like to get more videos from freestyle court sports and also some more content as we're putting it out there for you guys. All right, enjoy your time on the course.